Human Error is Transformers Animated 37th overall and episode 8 of season 3. Despite being a Christmas episode, it aired originally April 18th, 2009. In it, the bots are stuck in a new form, Starry has to figure out what's going on, and shenanigans ensue. This is somehow Transformers' first Christmas episode. Well, yeah, there were comics and stuff beforehand, but this is the first actual episode set on Christmas, which feels wrong, especially for an 80s franchise. Like, Pac-Man had a Christmas special before. The episode opens with Soundwave being mass-marketed. But weirder, Prime remembered his trailer. I think this might actually be one of the last times we see his trailer. The rest of the bots are at the base wanting Prime to come home. But Prime has Soundwave on the mind. And the TF Wiki lied to me again because Porter's in this episode, mass marketing the Soundwaves, and Isaac seems more upset that he's bootlegging his idea rather than the fact that Soundwave caused a robot riot. But that was like a year or two ago. At least Bulkhead remembers season 1. After 5 episodes of resting, Sari's finally made her return, cooking some oil nog. I wonder if it's alcoholic. Prime's going a little crazy with these sound waves getting in his head. People are starting to stare, so he goes home. At the garage, it's looking very festive. I love that the TV is the Yule log. But no peeking at the presents. I'm gonna guess that Ratchet was gifted a sound wave. Well, if the oil nog wasn't already spiked, it is now. Ratchet doesn't believe in Santa because there's no way you can get everywhere all at once and be everywhere.
I can think of at least one way. Ho, ho, ho.
A sound theory, Prowl.
So wait, is this their literal first Christmas? Because, they definitely would have to have been here for at least 1 year, given that season 1 ended with snow, and season 2, they transitioned, and now it's snowing again. But whatever, you don't need to explain the magic. Just be grateful what you have, like family, and drink up. So the bots get hammered by the Yule log and go to bed.
Merry Christmas, big guy. And pleasant dreams.
But the next day they wake up and something's a little off. By the Allspark, Prime's hair's starting to gray around the sides. Oh, and yeah, everyone's been turning humans.
There must be a rational explanation for this.
That line read feels a little off, am I wrong?
There is no rational explanation.
Meanwhile, Prowl's outside having an existential crisis.
It's something I'd always imagined, even dreamt I'd experience, and yet something isn't quite right.
Yeah, us.
So now they gotta figure out what's going on, what happened to their bot bodies, and where Sari is.
Let's just go.
At some DAX, they're opening up presents for Christmas. And Sari was gifted a replacement Soundwave.
To replace the one that tried to take over the world.
Dad, that thing tried to kill me?
But this is an action figure assembled in China, not by Megatron.
That is the Game Boy Color startup sound.
Ugh, Dad, you're just putting money into Powell's pocket.
Well, he seems happy enough with it, why bother? But she's got another gift. A moped. She was hoping for a car. But who needs a car when it's a jetpack? This was a concept that she was gonna get in season 1, where instead of a moped, it was a 3-wheel bike that turned into a jetpack, as seen in the concept intro, but I guess they decided to scrap it and she was removed from the intro.
Sorry, be careful!
Meanwhile, the Automen are struggling on the mean streets of Detroit, but they have to stop to refuel. Bulkhead really enjoys the burger fuel, but Prowl's a vegetarian and he enjoys the vegetable fuel. It avoids animal cruelty and it burns cleaner. I think this is actually scientifically right. I remember nut and especially corn fuel was a big thing in the 2000s, but it was kind of seen as a joke and it never really went anywhere because of big oil companies. America. Other people at BurgerBot is this waitress in a cute uniform, and these 3 who are all references. The old guy in the middle, who seems kind of out of place with the other two, is a character of Marty Eisenberg, who remembers the lead story editor and basically worked on everything awesome since the 90s. The guy who looks like he could be Headmaster's older brother and the kid who looks like Shattered Glass Kid Goku are apparently named Cancer and Hydra, who are Decepticon allied humans from Transformers Super God Master Force, because Derek is a nerd. Also, because of a layering problem, it kind of looks like Marty is sitting on Cancer's lap. Supposedly, internet personality Evangelist was going to have his caricature done by Derek in the episode. It never made it to the episode, but Derek did include it on April Fool's Day post. Well, with all that fuel Bulkhead is consuming, he's going to have to dump his tanks.
I think I got some kind of malfunction here. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Maybe you should check on him.
Oh no, I am not going in there.
That's a pretty funny poop joke, but it gets even funnier at the end of the episode. Prowl's enjoying walking in human shoes and playing with a little girl, who apparently is Nancy Witwicky, who I guess is Spike's second child and Daniel's younger sister, and Carly was pregnant with her in Garbage In, Garbage Out. This was confirmed on the DVD commentary, which they accidentally called her Jennifer and then renamed her to Nancy for some reason in the Allspark Almanac. I don't know why this kid has so much lore. But the Decepticons are attacking and bombing the city. Even Shockwave and Team Char have arrived. The Automen are outmatched, but when people are in peril, they jump to save them and firefight. Prowl saves a kid and leaps out of a building like 3 stories tall. Hey, Starscream does an over-the-top anime transformation. We haven't had one of those in an age. Meanwhile, cute girl with a jetpack arrives at the garage, but I guess all the Autobots are still sleeping. Bulkhead punches a robot and breaks his hand, and despite Optimus being slapped by a robot and hitting a wall, he only breaks his leg. But the team is able to sneak away because all these humans look the same to Starscream, even with him recognizing their voices. They get patched up, and I guess Prowl also broke his arm off screen. Prime thinks there's always a chance they can stop the Decepticons. They just have to get to some DACs, and desperate times call for desperate actions. Like taking public transportation. Even Spike and Daniel are there. Back with Sorry, she's quoting Christmas literature until a giant robot bird and a bunch of small sound waves arrive. She takes out the sound waves and finds out the garage has a basement under the Autobot logo. The Automen make it to some DACs, but unfortunately, Dark of the Moon is happening. And with a TIE Fighter sound effect, Cybertron uses the Omega Blast and takes out some DAC's tower. In Megatron anime transformations, the Automen have been replaced by little paint splats. This gets too much for Optimus to believe, and he calls bullshit. And the Automen are able to take out the cons because none of this is real. Prowl even T-poses to assert dominance. And they figure out they're stuck in VR. Sorry makes it into the basement, and in fact, they are strapped to a machine which is being operated by Soundwave. So Soundwave didn't just put them in VR and in human bodies that he had to have designed. He would have also had to detail a perfectly realistic bowel movement for Bulkhead. The Automen do the transformation sounds with their mouths and turn back to normal. But then VR Soundwave emerges. I really like this color scheme. I think they might have also gave Jeff a few different voice filters because he sounds a little different.
Escape is impossible. Autobots inferior. Soundwave superior.
Sorry tries blasting Soundwave, but Laserbeak knocks her, so it only hits his back thing. I guess it got better. Laserbeak turns into an axe guitar, which hits her with a Soundwave so hard she does the rogue pose. Sorry's able to escape, but Soundwave just picks up Ratbat, who turns into a keyboard guitar. It turns out that his plan is to mind wipe and mind control the Autobots, ending the first part. Part 1's pretty good. It's based on the G1 episode Only Human, I find it very weird that this is the only other episode they do the Transformers become human plot, because it feels like something that would have immediately came to someone's mind. I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense why Soundwave would put them in VR and not in their normal bodies, but human ones, but we need a plot, so whatever. The Christmas aesthetic gets kind of dropped by the end of the episode, but at the beginning it's just really nice seeing everyone come together and all the decorations and the music. It's just kind of heartwarming. And seeing Soundwave back is pretty cool, and his mini-cons are awesome. And it's really cool seeing Prowl enjoying being human. 8 out of 10. The Automen have perfect designs. While the G1 episode kind of just put everyone in overalls and Mickey Mouse gloves, because of the already very character design heavy animated, the characters look exactly like how you would think they would look as humans. Especially Ratchet and Bumblebee. I really like Bumblebee's hat just being a Bumblebee hat. Kinda weird that Optimus doesn't get a fireman hat or something. Prowl's human design is kind of the weakest, just being his hologram driver but with a mustache. Then again, I don't really know what else they would have done. You think Prowl's the kind of guy who can't grow a mustache and he's kind of self-conscious about it? You know, Transformers are able to grow facial hair. Speaking of, I really do like Optimus's design, but it's weird because I keep pointing this out, a lot of animated characters have like little squares on their chin. I don't know, they could have given him a little bit of facial hair, right? Bulkhead's design is very fun. I don't know why, but his head kind of reminds me of a Rankin Bass character. I don't know why. His jersey apparently does make sense. You think like the brown undershirt was put there because Cartoon Network censorship and he was originally supposed to have his like gut hanging out? Or was it done because they didn't want to encourage people to go around wearing very little in the snow? Laserbeak and we didn't see Ratbat's bat form yet, but they both look really cool, and I love the unique idea of them turning into guitars. And as a kid, I always tried imagining what the other cassette mini-cons would have turned into, like Frenzy and Rumble turning into drums or something. But let me hear your thoughts and opinions down below, as well as hitting the like button and subscribing for more.